bet it sells for 18,000 an acre. Won't be farmers buying it. Well, it could be, but more likely than not, it's going to be investors. Nobody can pencil that to make that work. I can't pencil 10 to 12,000 an acre.
Right.
No, I think it's fair. We're back, that's how it is.
Are we good to go?
The phones are gonna go off here for a second.
What?
It's gonna say connecting to the, we gotta connect to the phone system.
I thought you said alarms are going to go off.
No.
Mics are, cannot be.
Yeah, it's because the audio is off. We're good. Alright, so we have to redial.
Truckload of hay you want up there?
I'm gonna need probably about 60 tons, so I guess probably have to get two, I would imagine. Exactly. It's not, we're usually good till the second week in November.
Working it all. I'm gonna just reboot both of them.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's always been safe there, but
We got the top dog in here now.
On the tablet, yes, on the computers were on. The tablet was off, that one was off. The mics were off, but the computers were not.
I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
I think there's a roll past.
We're off.
You're on.
We're on.
You came back on, so.
We're good to go?
Yeah, the band hasn't started back up, but you guys are live.
So we can go ahead and continue. Okay, we have had a temporary glitch in our system here. We had a power bump or power outage, so we're back. Commissioner Baumann, you had something you were going to add to this presentation?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Administrator, for your presentation. It's something I've heard our chairman say a number of times, I've said a number of times, that I think that we should start evaluating what either an addition to this campus or a standalone facility of an administration facility for Franklin County. We're packed into this facility about as tight as you can. And with some of the things that we're evaluating looking down the road from the Office of Public Defense and the potential of adding staffing there, adding a veteran service officer, and some of the stuff that we're looking at, I think that it's something as we evaluate a strategic plan that we should evaluate that along with it. And another component of that is we know some of the challenges we face with building planning and economic development in the facility that they have, public works, some of that kind of stuff. I think we should evaluate all of that along the way. I don't know if a 3-year horizon for those facilities is appropriate or 13 years, but I think it's something that as we evaluate and build a strategic plan, that should be a part of it. And it may be to the extent of saying that at this time, we don't find that is within a strategic plan horizon. But I think that would be an important part to add to that. One other thought as I do that, the USDA regional director, Kirk Pearson, that came and visited with us, provided us with some information that described lots of different programs that is available through his USDA, and there's others as well, but there's low interest loans, there's lots of different ideas and potential there as we talk about a countywide road improvement district or different things like that. I think that having a robust discussion about this stuff is something that'd be valuable for us. And at the other end of it, it may be that what we got was just information and ideas, not necessarily a plan, but I think that'd be a good part to evaluate with it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So with that, Mr. Danzel, I've asked, and I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but have we made any headway on the meeting up in Basin City Fire Hall for the assessors and the patrons of Franklin County to have a meeting?
No.
Not yet?
No,
Okay.
I've been,
I know you've been
it's
busy.
been a pretty labor-intensive week and a half,
I've
so.
got a lot of people calling me about property taxes and when they're gonna start seeing relief, and,
Yeah,
because things are tough. And we've got foreclosures, we've got bankruptcies,
yeah.
a lot of hard pressed out there people right now.
I will talk to Mr. Rosenau and see what his availability is, and then be the go-between between you and Mr. Rosenau for something of that sort. But I just shooting you straight. No, I
I know when I called out there and I was getting this arranged, there was a warm welcome for this to happen from all of the farmers. I mean, even the ones that I've called that are in charge of the fire hall, they are welcoming it, and they said it will be well attended. So I thank you for that. So hopefully we can make that happen here in the near future.
Absolutely, and just got a note from our outstanding clerk of the board also that Wasack will be here in a workshop next week. So not just a courthouse visit, but they'll do a workshop. Derek Young, your executive director, who the county pays dues to do our bidding on our behalf over on the other side of the mountains. And I believe your president, although I'm not certain on this, I believe your president, Rob Kaufman, will be here as well. He's a county commissioner in Lincoln County. So.
What's their topic?
Their topic is they're going around and doing county visits. They're with the Association of Counties. I think what they're looking for is input into what can be done better possibly. I think that they're wanting to get a better understanding by doing these visits the way it used to work anyway, is they got a better understanding, the entire leadership team did, of like the difference between Franklin County and Pierce County and some of the smaller, more outlying rural areas versus the metropolitan areas, and kind of why there's in fact, I think it's the most important thing they do, if you want to know the truth, because right now there's a real movement to completely split the whole entire entity apart into like really the kind of three bigger counties over on the west side versus the eastern Washington, because the politics are so different. I think the power in Wasack used to be that both sides realized that if it were uncomfortable to bring to the table at Wasack, it was probably not something the county should be discussing on whether to advocate for or against, right? So it kept them out of these more controversial topics. And so, in my opinion, this going around and getting a set of eyes on what we deal with and how that might be different than how Spokane County deals with something, or even Benton County deals with something, is probably one of the more important parts of their job. Because as you know, once you get into the legislative session, they're acting and reacting to bills and as they navigate their way through either the House or the Senate. I've also got a couple of things that I've had a couple of very good folks reach out to me, contract lobbyists, wanting to know if we're interested, and contract lobbyists too. So that might be something that you kick around and think about.
Okay. Anything else for the good? I know we got public comment at the end of this. Is there anybody for public comment on the workshop that we've had?
And then we need just a 5-minute closed session, I think.
Okay.
As far as the district court project, there was a few things that Judge Orozco mentioned that might be something to look into further. But what I potentially see is that if you have Superior Court, you have your mandates going on, you have a lack of prosecuting attorneys, you have a lack of maybe cases that should be tried or should, have jail time, that kind of thing, that will not necessarily happen. Rather than letting some people go, perhaps we could have assistance through, and she mentioned she had a few felony cases, if I heard right, but I could see more going into district court as far as therapeutic court with people maybe that could gain assistance that direction that maybe would have just been let go. So just something to think about as far as the potential caseload that could be coming down the pike for them. The other thing is just real quick, as far as the strategic planning, along the lines of what Commissioner Bauman was talking about, something else to keep in mind is the surplus lands that perhaps some of these buildings, I've talked with the USDA gentlemen that were here because of looking at a new building for planning and public works and facilities. And because of the small, the small size that is, for their program they had, that was a very low interest rate. It was like $25,000 or less for a county. Because of that, then I will be bugging them again because they could potentially go for earmarks this coming year for budget-wise, if there are some. But as far as along that same line, some of these surplus lands that we have, we kind of have for public works and such, the property at the end of Road 68 that we used to have our bridge girders and such there, and we've cleaned it up. That would be a primary spot for public works and planning and building, economic development. And then facilities, because we do interact a lot. And our yard as well, we need that as well. So again, using surplus lands that we might have and not having to buy lands only makes sense, before we try to sell. So just some thoughts.
Anybody else for public comment? Seeing nobody come forward, nobody on the phone?
Mr. Chairman, are you willing to let me make a comment?
Sure.
On the therapeutic courts, yes, they do work in felony cases as well. This most recent graduation they had was somebody with a felony charge, and it was pretty remarkable at the graduation, listening to the different people that spoke about the process. There were judges there, there was attorneys there, different people that were in the programs themselves and those that were surrounding it. And there was something really remarkable that was said by one of the people that helped administer the program. She looked to this young man's mother and said that the tough love she showed him the last time when she didn't bail him out, which was the nexus for him getting into this program, was the step that it took to get him to go here. And then an observation that I made when I talked to this young man was that you have two options when you're at the bottom. You can be bitter or you can get better, and he chose better. And the only way you can help somebody in that situation is if they choose to allow people to help them get better. And so, yeah, I just appreciated having watched the program work in multiple times now, and they do handle felonies as well.
All right, if there is no other business for the good of the county and the workshop is closed, and I understand we have a 5-minute closed session.
A brief closed session, yeah.
Okay.
Then we'll get you out of here, I promise.
There you go, so I'll see, I got